Giles is struggling. The veteran left-hand hitting right fielder, batting just 169. McDonald turns on the rubber, and the right-hander deals very high. Ball one, 1-0. So Giles, who has been a wonderful performer for San Diego, and off the slowest start he's had in quite a while, he takes a strike, and the count 1-1 strike. Of course, for Brian, you could say the years are slowly but surely catching up on him. With a 1-1 pitch over his head, ball two. Giles, 38 years old, born in El Cajon, lives in San Diego. One thing about Brian, normally he's the rarity. He walks more than he strikes out usually. The 2-1 pitch, he hacks at one that looks like it was up at his eyes. Over comes Loney in foul ground right by the box seats and makes the catch for the out. Looking now, it's not the same Giles. 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. Here are the Dodgers. The outfield, Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier, Blake for Call, Hudson and Loney, and Martin and McDonald. So Giles looked like he went after a bad ball and no doubt pressing a little bit, but another reason why he's hitting less than 200. But that's not Giles to have struck out twice as many times as he has walked. So now McDonald working on David Eckstein, and Eckstein takes up and in ball one, 1-0. Little bit of a connection with the 2 second basemen in the series. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike. The Arizona Diamondbacks picked up Eckstein late last year when they lost Orlando Hudson to that dislocated left wrist. They've moved on from Arizona, and they're doing very well. Eckstein raising a fly ball to right center and coming over his Ethier to make the catch for the out. Eckstein hitting .315 and Orlando Hudson hitting .330. They haven't slowed down at all since leaving Arizona. So we have 2 down in the first inning, and Jody Garrett coming up. Hudson, both feet on the rubber. Actually, both feet out on the grass as McDonald gets on the rubber, and the pitch now to Jody Garrett is a pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Garrett, who spells that name G-E-R-U-T, but that's how it comes out. And the strike one pitch on the way in the dirt, kicks way off to the backstop. 1-1 strike. For Garrett, this would be his 14th start. 13 in center and 1 in right. Left-hand hitter waiting. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Big slow bender that drops in for a strike, 1 and 2. Bud Black in charge of a Padre team that was not considered to be much of a threat in the National League West. But Bud doing a good job, has his club right on the Dodger heels. The pitch to Garrett misses away, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. So James McDonald trying to give the Dodger bullpen a rest, and the right hand already in the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball is high, ball 3, 3-2. He hits 93 on the gun. Of course, it is a risk when you look at it. With James McDonald pitching tonight, Clayton Kershaw tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch is hit in the air down the right field line. Andre Ethier coming to the line, crosses it, leans in the stands, and makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Andre Ethier. He refused to quit on it. He was running out of real estate down in that corner, and yet going to the wall that's padded, he leaned in, backhands the ball, and comes out with a winner. And at the end Let's take a look now at the Dodger lineup, and they stack up this way: Furcal, Hudson, and Ramirez, Ethier, Loney, and Martin, Kemp, Blake, and McDonald. The Rafael Furcal, hitting .241, will start it off. Dodgers made a few personnel changes today. Scott Elbert was sent out to Chattanooga. That's AA ball. As Josh Giarretti makes the first pitch down and away, ball one. 1-0 to Furcal. He has 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Likes to move around in that batter's box, and the 1-0 pitch way off the plate, ball 2, 2-0. Josh Gier is out of Dallas, Texas, lives in Forney. He's 6'3" and 190, well put together. Went to Rice University. His next pitch in for a strike, and the count 2-1 to Furcal. Got a pretty good bonus from the Padres. 3rd round pick 4 years ago. The next one down and away. For Josh Gier, he's been impressive in his outings as a starter. As a starting pitcher, he has an earned run average of 2.38. That's excellent. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's in there for a strike at the knees, and the count goes 3-2. Rafael trying to get something started, and the 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on, pop foul, and out of play. For Josh Gier, making his first appearance against the Dodgers, and he's made 6 prior starts. He's worked 5 innings or more in each start, allowing 2 or fewer. So he's pretty tough. Gier into his windup. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and fouled away, and Furcal is still there. As far as Gier's stuff, well, the book says he has a pretty good 2-seamer with a lot of sink on it. Hard, tight slider and a changeup. Last year, he was bothered with a very bad right elbow. The pitch is hit to left field in the air, coming over and having to play it on a bounce is Chas Headley. So down to first goes Rafael Furcal, single to left, and the batter will be Orlando Hudson. By the way, where the Dodgers were playing in the 40s in Colorado and in the low 50s, the temperature here at the start of the game, 63 degrees. So Rafael, a base hit to left field. Brief chat with Adrian Gonzalez, and now here is Orlando Hudson. Hudson overall hitting .330, .333 left, .316 right. So Hudson with Furcal at first. Gier looks in, getting a sign. Rafael a cautious lead for the moment. He has stolen 3 out of 4. Gier ready and delivers, in the pitch outside, ball 1. Orlando letting the bat slip through his fingers as if he might try to bunt. 1 ball and no strikes. Game 2 tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw and Jake Peavy. Then Randy Wolf and Big Chris Young, and then Billingsley and Godin. We were talking before about tough starting McDonald back-to-back with Kershaw, 2 youngsters, because if they are not on their games, they would really burn up a bullpen. And of course, the missing link to the Dodgers, and he is really missed, and that's Hiroki Kuroda, the veteran who's been out with the bad side, and still no word as to when he'll be able to come back. 1 ball and no strikes. Hudson waits, looks, pays a strike for it. Hudson has certainly found a home here in Los Angeles. At Dodger Stadium, he's hitting .542. Admittedly, they only played 6 games, but still 13 for 24. He's off to the races. So Orlando waiting for call off the bag, held on by Gonzalez. Gier set, looks over his left shoulder. Now Josh delivers a comebacker, speared by Gier, goes to his shortstop for 1, and Rodriguez gets it over to first, and just like that, a double play. The 1-6-3 if you're scoring along with us, and with 2 down, Manny Ramirez coming up.
Manny Ramirez.
The Dodgers have been doing a lot of hitting, and of course the Mannywood section gives him a standing ovation. All the folks down there wearing the Mannywood shirts. Dodgers are second to the Cardinals in runs scored and batting average. They're first in the major league with walks, and one reason is Manny. He takes at the point of the left elbow. 1 ball and no strikes. Ramirez has walked 19 times. Gear ready. Josh back with a pitch up high around the shoulders, so he's fallen behind 2-0. On deck, Andre Ethier. Gear working a little bit from the first base side of the rubber, and the 2-0 pitch on the way. Manny fouls it back. We mentioned Scott Elbert has gone out to Chattanooga in Double-A. Blake DeWitt has been sent back to Albuquerque to play every day. Corey Wade will give Joe Torre a lift. He's off the DL and now eligible to pitch in relief. And Jeff Weaver has been called up from Albuquerque. Fastball is lifted foul off to the right, well out of play, and the count remains 2-2. So Manny hitting a solid .360, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. On the road trip, hit .406, and he's hit safely in 10 of his last 11. Gear ready, turns in the 2-2 pitch, and Manny swings and slices one foul down the line out of play, so he's still there. Manny was hitting .258, and then in the next 11 games got his average up to .360. 8 multi-hit games, third in the league in average at .360. Gear looks down, getting a sign. Manny waits, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball low and inside. 3-2 the count. Gear hits 89 with that sinking fastball. He's been clocked up to 91. Now the 3-2 pitch coming up, and Ramirez swings, drives it into the gap in right center. Over is Giles to play it off the wall. Manny on his way into second base with a sliding double. So Ramirez, after the game the other night in San Francisco, said, "I'm a doubles maniac. I'm a setup man." Well, the other night he had 3 doubles, 2 to right and 1 to left. This time he splashes one to right center field to short hop the wall. So Ramirez now has 7 doubles to go along with his 4 home runs. Giles playing the ball well. So a 2-out double by Manny, and the batter is the clean shaven aforementioned Andre Ethier. So Andre waiting, hitting .296. And the first pitch is a check swing on a sinker. It'll cost him a strike, and the count 0-1. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Padres went out in order. Ethier making a good play on a foul ball hit by Garrett. Now Andre trying to pick up his 22nd RBI. Gear at the belt, and the strike 1 pitch, and he misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers trying to win their 15th in April to go 15-8. April of 2005 they went 15-8 under Jim Tracy. The 1-1 pitch coming up, and Ethier lays off it, and it's low. Ball 2, 2-1 to count. So the Dodgers had Furcal single. Hudson hits into a double play, and then Manny doubles to right center. Gear out of a stretch, and with Blackwood glance to see what Manny's up to. Now to the plate, and it's hit foul outside of third and down the line. That slider that he uses so well busting in on the hands, and Ethier hit it inside out. So Josh Gear, we mentioned he was diagnosed with a fraying of the ulnar collateral ligament in his right elbow in October last year. They wanted to do surgery, and he said, "No, I'd rather work on it, strengthening the elbow," and it paid off. So he dodged the blade, and he's very healthy. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball is low. Ball 3. 3-2. He hits 90 with that fastball. The 3-2 the count to Andre Ethier. After Ethier comes James Loney. And the 3-2 pitch coming up. Ethier hits a flare into shallow left field. It's going to drop. Here comes Manny digging to the plate, and he will score. Down to second, and safely in goes Ethier with his 22nd run batted in, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. So Andre Ethier hit a little flare over the head of the shortstop Luis Rodriguez, dropping into left field. Headley really didn't have a play. Manny running with 2 out. Heads up bit of play by Ethier. When the ball was cut off, Andre was still able to get to second base. So Manny comes in, gets a rewarded pat on the back from Rafael Furcal, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. The batter now is James Loney. Loney, among other things, has done exceptionally well against San Diego pitching throughout his career. Here delivers, and it's outside with a fastball, ball 1. Loney is hitting .366 in his career against the Padres. Mark McGwire tore him up, so did Brian Giles when he played against them, and of course Albert Pujols. 1-0 to James. He has a look at a strike, and the count 1 ball 1 strike. Dodgers 1 run 3 hits. Padres nothing across. Gear, remember, in his first 6 starts has an earned run average of 2.3. Josh Reddy in the 1-1 pitch. Good fastball in there for a strike. 6'3", 190. He'll be 26 early in June. Dodgers lead 1-0 in the first inning. Out of a stretch goes Gear. Sets just above the belt. And the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Loney swings and lifts it off third base. Foul ground. Kuzminov backed up along with his shortstop, but Kevin stays with it in fair ground for the out. So the Dodgers get 3 hits for a run. Manny doubles, Ethier brings him home, and it's 1-0 Dodgers. For Josh Gear and the Dodgers. Gear made 28 pitches. The Dodgers worked 3 3-2 counts and had a base hit on all 3 at bats. So they took Gear to school a little bit, and now we go to the second inning. McDonald ready to work to Adrian Gonzalez, and he takes a strike, and the Dodgers put up a picket fence on the right side so that Casey Blake is all alone on the left, and the Dodgers with Furcal, Hudson, and Loney stacking up, with Hudson playing about 10 to 12 feet out on the grass. The pitch to Adrian outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Dodgers trying to shut down a very hot hitter. Gonzalez has hit safely in 11 straight. He's had a remarkable April, 9 home runs, 19 runs batted in, and promptly bangs it where there's no one playing, and that's in left center. Over to cut the ball off and get it back in is Kemp. So Adrian Gonzalez now has hit in 12 straight. What a hitter. And of course, playing in San Diego, he just does not get the national recognition that he deserves. He's just a marvelous player. Also, he did something the other day which got headlines. He stole a base. He stole a base after 558 games. So the batter now is Chase Headley, and he takes in the dirt. Nice block by Martin. 1 ball and no strike. 558 games, that's a long time as a position player to go without a stolen base. The notes tell us that Darren Fletcher went 658 games without a stolen base, but of course he was a catcher. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Headley takes very high. 2-0 the count, and Martin going out now to talk to McDonald. So the Padres went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Adrian Gonzalez promptly strokes a single to left center, with the Dodgers leading on 3 hits. Manny's double and the single by Ethier. 2-0 the count. Padres 6-4 at home, 5-6 on the road. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's taken a little low. Ball 3. Padres are 1 game above 500. They split the 4 at home with the Dodgers, and at the start of the series they're 2.5 games back. 3-0 pitch on the way, and that is high. So McDonald gives up a single and a walk, and immediately first and second and nobody out. And as we mentioned earlier, it's a risk, of course, with 2 young pitchers back to back. It'll be interesting to see after 2 games how many pitchers the Dodgers would be forced to use. In San Francisco, they used 5 pitchers last night. They used only 3 in the Billingsley game and only 2 in the Wolf game. McDonald ready. Here he comes, and the first pitch way down and into Kuzminov. Ball 1, 1-0. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the Padres. Kuzminov hitting .256, 1 home run, 7 runs batted in, and he takes low. And so McDonald now in trouble, and immediately the veteran infielders for Call and Hudson, and now here comes Rick Honeycutt. So James McDonald, who has a great arm and great stuff, but has so much trouble throwing it for strikes. And of course that's an old story in this business. His earned run average coming into this game was .711, 10 walks and 6 strikeouts. So Honeycutt trying to be the Dutch uncle and advise and still inspire. So the meeting continues. Waiting at the plate, Kuzminov has the count his way. 2 balls and no strikes. Kuzminov is the power hitter for the Padres. He can have brilliant games, and he can also gray the hair of Bud Black. But when he's hot, last year he had 23 home runs, 84 runs batted in, and hit a solid .260. And each boy involved here has a father who played in the NFL. And Kuzminov takes a strike. James McDonald's dad was a wide receiver in the NFL. And Kevin's dad, Mark, played for the Chicago Bears. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 on, nobody out. McDonald delivers inside, and he's behind again. 3-1. So in the first inning, there were 3 3-2 counts for Gear, and the Dodgers had a base hit each time. Now let's see 3-1 with 2 on and nobody out. McDonald delivers way inside, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So the Dodger lead of 1-0. We're only in the second inning, and it's jeopardized. And the batter is Nick Hundley, the catcher. Hundley hitting .264. He has a home run and a half a dozen runs batted in. He had a freakish thing happen. He was trying to pick Brad Hopp off second base in Colorado. Fired down to the bag. Hopp went back head first, and Hundley's throw hit Brad Hopp in the neck. McDonald ready and deals, and the first pitch foul back. Fastball, and it winds up in fastball alley. 0-1 the count. Hundley out of Oregon and Washington, went to the University of Arizona. Second-round pick for the Padres 4 years ago. And he's up there with Gonzalez at third, Headley at second, Kuzminoff at first. Strike one pitch in there, and an 0-2 count. Big slow breaking curveball. So the Padres with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the Dodgers trying to cling to a 1-0 lead. McDonald looking down to Martin, and the strike two pitch on the way, and it's way off the plate. Another good block by Martin. 1-2 the count. For Nick Hundley, just for the record, he does not have a grand slam in his young career. McDonald staring down, fastball, curve, and changeup he's shown. And the 1-2 fastball is high, ball two. He hits 93 on the gun, but he's in dangerous territory now. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a 2-2 count to Hundley with Luis Rodriguez, a switch hitter, on deck. McDonald's 2-2 pitch is off the plate, and he just does hold up. And they're going to check it first. No swing, says Rob Drake. So 3-2. So for McDonald, he's gone about as far as he can go. Bases loaded, nobody out, and a full count. 6'5" right-hander gets back up on top. Hundley, meanwhile, waiting at the plate. And the 3-2 pitch is swung on and foul back. Nick Hundley facing James McDonald. Dodgers lead 1-0. We're only in the second inning. Gonzalez singled, Headley walked, Kuzminoff walked to load the bases. Nobody out, and a 3-2 count to Nick Hundley. McDonald ready, and the big 3-2 pitch swung on and foul back. The Hundley is still up there hacking away. In checking his numbers, he has walked 6 times and he has struck out 13. Hundley very carefully getting back in the box. 3-2 the count. McDonald turns, ready, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and fouled away. So Hundley making him work, fouling off a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. For McDonald and Hundley, it is now an 8-pitch at bat. Gonzalez at third, Headley at second, Kuzminoff at first. Nobody out, second inning, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. If you just joined us, Ramirez doubled with 2 out. Ethier singled him home. McDonald ready, and his 9th pitch to Hundley is swung on and fouled away. And another 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So Hundley not pulling it, but he's just fouling him off. Still 3-2. So Gonzalez at third, Headley at second, Kuzminoff at first. 3-2 to Hundley is way over his head. Ball 4. Everybody moves up 90, and just like that, we have a 1-1 tie. So McDonald has walked 3 following the base hit, and immediately quite an at bat for Hundley, a 10-pitch at bat. And Honeycutt is on the phone, and of course that was the thing we were speculating before. You pitch kids back to back, and the bullpen gets a workout, and here we are only in the second inning, and the Dodgers are going to have to get up down in the pen. The batter is the switch hitting Luis Rodriguez, hitting .267, and he fouls a pitch away, and another 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Jeff Weaver, who just came up from Albuquerque, will begin to loosen up. He's the long man, so to speak, in the Dodger bullpen. Luis Rodriguez, who spent a long time in the minors, waiting now on a strike one pitch, and he hacks at one that was up around his eyes, and the count 0-2. Rodriguez played in 866 minor league games. He had over 3,000 at-bats. He's 5'8", 190-pounder out of Venezuela. Signed originally by the Twins as a free agent. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Rodriguez takes off the plate, and again Martin is on his hands and knees blocking it. Slider that almost got away. Rodriguez at 5'9" will make it a little tough for McDonald, who's struggling anyway with 3 consecutive walks. 1-1 tie, second inning. McDonald ready now, and his 1-2 pitch to the infielder swung on and fouled away. So it's been a tough inning for McDonald. Hundley made it very tough with 10 pitches, and they just keep making him pitch. He's already made 27 pitches, and he does not have an out. 1-2 the count to Luis Rodriguez. He can play second, short, or third, playing shortstop tonight. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, foul back. So the Padres are driving McDonald a little wacky because he's having trouble throwing strikes, and every time he does, they foul it off. Well, McDonald now 27 pitches. That gives him 40 with nobody out in the second inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez, the 8th man to come up, batting 8th with Gear behind him. The 1-2 pitch swung on, ground ball down to Loney. He goes to Furcal, goes back to the pitcher McDonald, and they get the double play. Scoring is Headley, and the Padres take a 2-1 lead. So the Dodgers come up with a 3-6-1 double play. And the Padres leading 2-1 with 2 out. They have a runner at third, and the batter now is Gear. So Kuzminov down the line from third. Gear, right-hand batter, takes a strike. Josh Gear so far this year has had 3 at-bats, 0 for 3, struck out twice, hits a hopper into center field, and scoring to give the Padres a 3-1 lead. It kind of takes your breath away, and Gear just single to center. The Kuzminov walks in the run. The 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks as Gear just reaches out and hits it between Hudson and second base. So now the batter is Brian Giles, who takes a strike. Giles fouled out to James Loney, and it certainly appeared like he went after a pitch up around the eyes. Hitting just 167. Big overhand curveball that drops in for a strike, and the count 0-2. Padres 3, Dodgers 1, second inning, and the strike 2 pitch to Brian Giles has to be one-handed by Martin coming up out of a crouch. So it's not a case of young James just missing. He's in the dirt, and he's over the hitter's head. 1-2 the count. The pitch to Giles is taken off the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Giles, the 7th man to come up in the inning, and the Padres lead 3-1. Now the 2-2 pitch. Giles takes at his feet. It squirts away from Martin, and on the wild pitch, Gear goes down to second. So James McDonald, who was the Dodger pitcher of the year in the minors in 2007. He was the minor league pitcher of the year in 2008, but he is still a minor league pitcher right now as he bounces a curveball, and he has a runner at second. It is 3-1 in favor of the Padres. For Gear, the second career hit he has had to drive in a run. 3-2 the count to Brian Giles, with Gear taking a good lead at second base. McDonald ready in the 3-2 pitch, and that's low and inside, ball 4. So Giles walks, a disastrous second inning, and here comes Joe, and that'll do it for young James McDonald. So McDonald retired the side in order in the first inning, and in the second inning gave up a hit, 3 walks, got a double play, then gave up a double play and a walk. And the base hit to Gear had to break his heart. Orlando Hudson keeps saying to him, "You're the man, you're the man." Trying to pump him up a little bit. Saying that before Joe Torre got there. Then when Torre arrived, nothing to be said. So here is Jeff Weaver, who was called up. I'm sure a disconsolate James McDonald coming out. Maybe even fighting tears. He was so frustrated. 2 hits, 4 walks, 3 runs. And, of course, the runners, his responsibility, and we'll be back. The young James McDonald goes back to the dressing room, and the older Jeff Weaver coming out of the bullpen. Jeff will be 33 in August. He was born in Northridge, lives out in Simi Valley, and went to Fresno State. He was with the Dodgers back in 2004 and 5. Before that, a couple of years with the Tigers. Then he bounced around the Angels, the Cardinals, the Mariners. Then last year in the minors with Nashville and Buffalo. Lo and behold, here he is. 6'5", 200-pounder, working on David Eckstein with Gear at second and Giles at first. 2 down. Jeff out of a stretch, checking the runners, comes with an arm angle that delivers down and away. Ball 1. Weaver kind of leans a little bit towards third, and it looked like he was going to come sidearm, but instead raised the arm and missed away. Eckstein makes it tough for you. Little guy bent at the knees and waist, chokes up on the bat. Eckstein takes ball 2. So 2-0 the count to David Eckstein. Eck has hit in 3 straight. Weaver looks in to get a sign. Eckstein pumping the wet back and forth, constantly in motion up there. The 2-0 pitch is down, ball 3. So the Dodgers having trouble here in the early going. And Eckstein at 5'6" is certainly not going to give you much of a strike zone. 3-0 the count. So Weaver is 1 pitch away from loading him up. Jeff straightens up at the belt. And the 3-0 pitch, and that's ball 4. And the bases are loaded yet again. And that's 5 walks given to the Padre hitters. Headley, Kuzminoff, and Hundley. Now Giles and Eckstein. So Gear is now at third. Giles at second. Eckstein at first. Jody Garrett hitting in the 3 slot. Checking in at the plate. Hitting .242. Garrett waiting, and Weaver straightens up, set, ready, and Jeff delivers. And the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Wondering about grand slams. We can tell you that he's had 1. Garrett hit a grand slam against Minnesota 6 years ago. Strike one pitch coming up. Weaver delivers. It swung on and sliced to left center. Kept going back. Reaches up and backhands the ball. Otherwise, everybody comes home. So a big play by Matt Kemp to deprive the Padres of 3 more. But they already had 3 in the bank. And at the end of an inning and a half, 3-1 San Diego. McDonald, who went back to the clubhouse when he was out of the game, now has returned, sitting in the dugout. I remember in Japan, you'd see a Japanese pitcher pitch ineffectively and be taken out of the game. What he would do, he would go immediately to the bullpen and throw, as if to say to the fans of his club, I'm sorry, so I'm down here practicing to see that I will be better next time. Doesn't work in the big leagues. Russell Martin, then Matt Kemp and Casey Blake against Josh Geer. First pitch is hit down the right field line, foul, out of play, and the count 0-1. Martin just going with a slider away and hits it into the crowd. No balls and 1 strike to Russell, hitting .216. Geer turns ready in the right hand. It comes back, and another breaking ball down and away, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. So he's given Martin 2 sliders, 1 he's fouled, 1 he's missed. Geer holds the ball out in front as he gets a sign. Now the strike 2 pitch, and he drops that one low. Ball 1. Geer, good size for a big league pitcher, 6'3", 190 pounds. He'll be 26. The 1-2 pitch to Russell Martin, and that one is off the plate. So a 2-ball 2-strike count, all 4 breaking balls to even up the count. Padres lead 3-1, and Martin looking for a fastball that he can handle. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball grounded to the hole. Plugging it up is Eckstein to make the play. So Martin grounds out, and we have 1 away in the 2nd inning. And the batter will be Matt Kemp, who certainly saved the Dodgers bacon with that great running catch. Matt is certainly not a top center fielder, especially on balls hit to straightaway center. But when it comes to running to left center or right center, he really catches and runs him down. So here is Matt hitting .316, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Geer ready and delivers and starts him for a strike. Pretty good fastball with a little sink on it. 0-1 the count. Dodgers trying to win their 15th, but they're going to have to come from behind. Strike 1 pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jeff Weaver has a tough road now. He is expected to give the Dodgers a lot of innings. The 1-1 pitch is pulled on the ground to Kuzminov. Kevin stays with it and throws it first for the second out. So 2 down, and Casey Blake coming up.
Batting next, Dodger third baseman, number 23.
Casey hitting .229. He has 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in. So the Padres got 4 walks from McDonald, 1 from Weaver, settled for 3 runs on 2 hits. Might have been 6 runs except for the running catch by Matt Kemp. Dodgers meanwhile have 1 run on 3 hits, and Blake takes off the plate, ball 1. Dodgers had 3 hits in the first inning. For Call singled, Hudson hit into a double play. Ramirez doubled, and Ethier singled him home. Casey takes a strike, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Game 1 of a 4-game series. It is the game 5 of the series, so it means the Dodgers and the Padres will have played 8 games when this series ends. For Bud Black and the Padres, somewhat of a surprise in the early going. 2-1 the count to Casey Blake. Right-handed gear delivers, flips it in there for a strike, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Took a lot off that pitch. That was only 70 miles an hour. Josh Reddy, 2-2 pitch. Casey swings, doesn't get it, and that's the inning. 2 ground balls and a K. So at the end of 2, Padres 3, Dodgers 1. Plays by the Dodger outfielders. First of all, a high twisting pop foul off first base and down the right field line. Andre Ethier reaching into the crowd to come out with it for the out. And then, of course, the big play by Matt Kemp to run down that long drive to take an extra base hit and 3 runs away from Jody Garrett. So in the 3rd inning, it'll be Adrian Gonzalez who started it all off in the 2nd with a line single to left center, and walks just walked him around. Three to 1 San Diego. Gonzalez has now hit in 12 straight, hitting .395 during the streak. The left-hand hitter swings and drives one to center. Kemp going back, away back to the track, and makes the catch. Boy, that Adrian Gonzalez is something. And Matt Kemp on the other end of it, going right into the pads. So a long out to dead center, which means Weaver has faced 2, and both of them have really been hit. So Gonzo is stopped on the glove of Matt Kemp, just like Garrett, and the batter now will be Chase Headley. 3 runs, 2 hits for the Padres. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. We're in the 3rd. Weaver taking over for James McDonald, and his fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Jeff hits 90. Headley walked and eventually scored while Rodriguez was hitting into a double play. 0-1 the count. Switch hitter batting left-handed, and Headley takes off the plate. 1-1. To break down his hitting, 265 left, 235 right. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch on the way, and Chase takes off the plate. 2-1 the count. Headley out of Colorado and lives in Tennessee. The 2-1 pitch is swung on, pulled to the hole. A sprawling stop by Hudson in the dirt to Loney, and he can't come up with it. A great effort by Orlando Hudson to get to the ball, and then throwing on his knees, and he bounced it, and Loney unable to handle it. It'll probably go as a base hit. So Headley, an infield single, despite the heroics and the efforts of Orlando Hudson. So Kevin Kuzminov will be coming up. Hudson plays all the time. If you were watching last night, it was interesting. The Giants had a cakewalk, and with a huge lead on a cold night, the Giants still were watching Orlando Hudson dive for balls up the middle, smother them in the hole. You would think it was a 1-1 tie in the 9th inning. So Orlando talking to himself a little bit. No doubt about the throw to first that he just could not get. Strike 1 pitch on the way to Kevin Kuzminov, and that swung on and missed. Good sidearm fastball, and it stayed down and in, and Kuzminov backs out 0-2. So Weaver in relief of McDonald, who made 62 pitches while he was in there. 0-2 the count to Kevin. Instead a throw to first, and Headley back on the bag. Headley has stolen 2 out of 3. Strikeout hitter at the plate in Kuzminov. He has struck out 20 times. 1 away. Padres 3, Dodgers 1. Weaver ready. Jeff delivers, and it is swung on and fouled away. So still 0-2. Dodgers beginning an 11-game homestand. 4 with San Diego, 2 with Arizona, 2 with Washington, and 3 with San Francisco. The Dodgers, of course, are up to somewhat of a slow start because they spent so many games on the road. Dodgers playing 16. Arizona has blown an opportunity. They had 18 at home already. A big sweeping breaking ball way outside, and a 1-2 count. Not exactly a tight slider. That thing coming sidearm really sailed away, and it was backhanded and knocked down by Russell Martin. So Weaver will drop the arm angle, especially right-hand hitter up there. 1-2 the count to Kevin Kuzminov. Weaver ready, over the top with a fastball, swung on and missed. So Kuzminov strikes out. 2 down. Headley holding at first, and the batter will be Nick Hundley. So Weaver changing the Mar angle, and got it down and away, and that'll do it for Kevin Kuzminov. Nick Hundley certainly contributed to McDonald's early downfall with that 10-pitch at bat in the 2nd inning. The young catcher went 3-2, just kept fouling him off, and drew a walk. Weaver turns, throws to first. Headley back in head first. Aptly named. Hundley with 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. Weaver at the belt. Headley a very, very short lead, and the pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers got a run in the first inning. Ramirez doubled. Ethier singled him in. But the Padres came right back. A very generous James McDonald gave up 2 hits, 4 walks, and came out giving up 3. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and Weaver works one down and away. His fastball clocked at 91. 2-0 the count. Padres 3 runs, 3 hits. Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits. Hundley with Rodriguez on deck. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that is low and inside. Another fastball at 91, and Weaver is behind now. 3 balls and no strikes. So he's faced 4 hitters. Kemp made a great catch with the bases loaded on Garrett. Kemp made a fine catch on the ball hit by Adrian Gonzalez. Singled by Headley, and he struck out Kuzminov, and he gets a strike now to Nick Hundley. 3-1 the count, with Rodriguez, who hit into a double play, on deck. Headley very short lead. Weaver straightens up, looks over his left shoulder at him, comes to the plate, fouled away. So Hundley is at it again, fouling him off. 3-2. He's checking with the plate umpire Mark Wegner. He just said, was that a strike? I guess the umpire would say now. 3-2. So Hundley, who hung so tough in the second inning, trying to do the same thing now with Weaver. 3-2 with 2 down. Headley can go. They're not going to hold him. Weaver delivers, and it is swung on. A high foul behind the plate. Martin coming back to the screen and has to watch it land on the other side. A hat trick, as a fan just took his San Diego cap off, and the ball wound up in the cap. Not a bad play, and he didn't spill a drop. Take another look. You can see that hat in your hat. Ha. So still 3-2 the count to Nick Hundley. Weaver again straightens up. The young catcher waits. Jeff Reddy with the runner going, and it is swung on and missed. So Hundley follows Kuzminov by striking out. No runs, a hit, a man left. The end of 2.5 innings. 3-1 San Diego. Of the third inning, it'll be Jeff Weaver followed by Rafael Furcal and then Orlando Hudson. McDonald never made it to the plate, and Weaver will hit instead. So Jeff waiting, and the first pitch from Gear a little bit low. Ball 1, 1-0. So Weaver just called up from Albuquerque. The 1-0 pitch on the way, high and away. 2-0 the count. Jeff wearing a number that was worn with such great pride and dignity, number 36. Back in Brooklyn, they loved that number. It was Don Newcomb's number. 2-1 the count to Jeff. Gear works quickly, comes right back, and Weaver hits a towering drive to left field. Back goes Headley to the track and makes the catch right under Weaver's name. So Jeff Weaver got a high fastball and almost hit it out. So one away. Big grins from some of the pitchers in the Dodger dugout. And Jeff coming back. He almost hit it. That would have been a great way to come back. So with one away in the third inning, Padres lead 3-1. And the batter will be Rafael Furcal, who singled in the first inning but was doubled up on the comebacker by Orlando Hudson. The first off-speed pitch drops in for a strike. 0-1. Rafael hitting .250, promptly hits one just inside the left field line, down in the corner. Headley has to come back to get it, and into second base standing is Furcal. The ball hit the tarp roller, and Headley had to come all the way back to get out in front of the tarp and find it. So a one-out double by Rafael Furcal, who is now 2 for 2, and the batter will be Orlando Hudson. Ball, as soon as it hit the grass, headed for the tarp roller. That made it a little tougher for Chase Headley. So the Dodgers have 4 hits, but the Padres have 3 runs. Rafael talking to Luis Rodriguez, the Padres shortstop, as he takes his lead. So here's Orlando with Manny on deck. Gear out of a stretch, leading 3-1. Works the first pitch down and away, ball 1. Orlando, as we pointed out to you, off to a great start at home. And remember, he had that cycle day here against the Giants. 1 ball and no strikes. Gear set, looks back at Furcal, double checks. Now works the plate. It's swung on, another drive to left. Back goes Headley, away back to the track. The wall, gone. Home run by Hudson, and we have a 3-3 tie. Hits his 3rd home run of the year, gives him 12 runs batted in, able to time a breaking ball and drive it over the wall. It hits the very top of the wall and then keeps on going. So the Dodgers and the Padres are all tied 3-3, and the batter is Manny Ramirez. And the first pitch to Manny misses, ball 1. Hudson went 13 games in between home runs. He hit one against Randy Johnson, and now this one tonight. Manny chasing one, doesn't get it, and the count 1-1. Manny thinking, wait a minute, Weaver sends Headley to the wall. Hudson sends Headley to the wall to watch the home run, and now here I am, the doubles maniac, in his own words. Doubled in the first inning to right center. 1-1 the count to Manny, batting .368. Gear into the windup. Josh delivers, and a towering drive. Forget it, boys. That's out of stake. Looked like a golf ball against the night sky. Confetti in the air. Manny heading with a big grin to the the dugout for Ramirez, his 5th home run, 15 runs batted in. So the Dodgers put the slug on Josh Gear, and David Eckstein said, wait a minute, I'm not going to let you pitch right away. And look where Manny is. Mantle with 536, Fox with 534, Manny with 532, up there with the great names. 17th on the all-time home run list. So the Dodgers get back-to-back home runs by Hudson and Ramirez. And here's Ethier, big swing and a miss, 0-1 to count. So Manny, after seeing Weaver just miss and seeing Hudson hit one out, decided to show them how you can really hit one in a hurry. Ethier takes low for Gear, giving up back-to-back home runs. He had allowed only 1 so far this year, and he's allowed 2 and almost 3 in this inning. So the Dodgers lead 4-3. 2-1 pitch, down and away, ball 3. So Josh Gear a little rattled on this extra base explosion for the Dodgers in the 3rd inning. Now the 3-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 3-2. For the Dodgers, they have now hit 22 home runs. Orlando and Manny joining in tonight. 3-2 the count. Gear turns, ready, right-handed delivers, and that swung on a fly ball to center. Jody Garrett is right there waiting, and that will be the 2nd out. Some home runs you have to call the outfielders. Some you just have to back off and watch, and that's what happened with Manny. He got that ball just above the knees out over the plate and crushed it. It was so high and so far, everyone in the park knew it was a home run immediately, led by Matt Kemp. So 4-3 Dodgers, 2 out, a 3-run inning. Orlando applauding for Manny, but a lot of fellas were applauding for Orlando. And Loney hits a fly ball to right, but this one very playable, and Brian Giles puts it away. So a double and 2 home runs. The Dodgers flex their muscles a little bit, and at the end of 3, Dodgers 4, Padres 3. Sirloin burgers. They're 3 delicious burgers on toasted mini buns. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Nissan, get to the Nissan National Tent event for great deals on reliable vehicles. Look closer, Nissan delivers. Well, a seesaw game so far. Dodgers got 1 in the 1st inning. Padres got 3 in the 2nd. Dodgers come back with 3 and lead 4-3 with Orlando Hudson and Manny Ramirez spearheading the attack with home runs. Now Luis Rodriguez followed by Josh Gear and then Brian Giles. Rodriguez, switch hitter, grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning. And that's fouled away. 0-1 the count. Rodriguez from Venezuela had been with the Twins for 3 years. Briefly last year with the Padres, hit .287. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Weaver at 6'5", taking that long stride to the plate, but it's the arm angle that is so interesting. 1-1 to Rodriguez. 2-1. Four runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 3 runs, 3 hits for the Padres. That's a strike. Of course, the Dodgers would still have an uphill battle, except for the catch by Matt Kemp with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning on the ball hit by Jody Garrett. That was with Weaver pitching, and Matt saved the moment, and Weaver's bacon. 2-2. Little roller. Weaver has it. Flip Filoni. One away. Time to put your thinking cap on. We have our Aflac trivia question of the evening. Manny Ramirez, 21st all time with 1,064 career extra base hits. Who holds the record for the most extra base hits? That's a lot of them. Manny 17th on the home run list and 21st extra base. Here's Gear, singled to shock everybody in the 2nd inning to pick up a run batted in. Little ground ball, tough play for Furcal. He has to come back and get it, and he can't make it. Rafael taking that great circle route. We've seen that happen to him now 3 times. Ground ball that Blake can't get to, and Furcal has to come from a long way, and there's just no chance. So Gear single to center. Now he singles to short, and Brian Giles coming up. Boy, there was a time when Brian Giles really commanded respect. I mean, he hit as many as 38 home runs. He's had as many as 125 RBIs, but all quite a while ago. And Brian lines it to right. Ethier is going to make the catch, and Gear holding. So Giles lines to right. 2 down in the 4th inning, and the batter will be the pest, David Eckstein. So Eckstein with 2 out, trying to keep the inning alive. Eckstein has had a wonderful career with the Angels and with the Cardinals. Weaver and Eckstein were teammates on the 2006 Cardinal club that found its way to the series. And a strike. 0-1. David at 5'6", born in Florida, lives in Westwood, California. Signed out of the University of Florida by the Red Sox. 1-1. David flied to right and walked. Eckstein trying to keep things alive and get Jody Garrett up there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hot shot foul. Boy, that thing was stung. 1-2 the count. Eckstein back in 05 hit 8 home runs for the Cardinals as he visits with Russell Martin. 1 year with the Angels, he had 8 home runs and 63 RBIs. So he's got a lot of ability and a big heart. 1-2. choking up on the bat, wiggling the bat back of his right ear. He's up there to hit, and he's batting .311. The Weaver sidearms him and strikes him out. So down goes Eckstein and the Padres. No runs, a hit, a man left. Into 3.5, 4-3 Dodgers. Your baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Please enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. By Kaiser Permanente, we want you to live well, be well, and thrive. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. Bottom of the fourth inning with the Dodgers leading the Padres 4-3. Dodgers led 1-0. Padres led 3-1. Dodgers lead 4-3. And it will be Russell Martin, Matt Kemp, and then Casey Blake. The outfield split in the sense that Jody Garrett shades Martin slightly to right center. So from left to right center, pretty good gap out there. Bottom of the fourth. On the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't think Martin agreed with Mark Wegner, but the count's 1-1 anyway. Wegner in his 11th year as a major league umpire. Strike 1-2. Wegner, the plate umpire, has to be a dedicated athlete in his own right. That'll do it. 1 away. When Wegner was in high school, he was the co-captain, and he severely injured his right arm, and he taught himself to be a pitcher and did well left-handed. Well, he pumped that right arm in the air to punch out Martin. 1 away in the fourth. 2 strikeouts for Josh Gear. And here's Matt, grounded to third in the second inning. 0-1. Tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw and Jake Peavy. Well, that could very well be a dandy. 0-1. And remember, tomorrow night, Friday night, you not only see Kershaw and Peavy, fireworks after the game. Clayton enjoying the scenery right now. And see you later. So both Martin and Kemp strike out, and the batter will be Casey Blake. Remember the trivia question? It had to do with Manny and extra base hits. He's 21st with 1,064, but who holds the record? Who is the greatest extra base hitter the game has ever known? There he is, Henry Aaron. the man from Mobile. Ball one. Henry Aaron. Remember one year the Dodgers and the Braves were barnstorming. Charlie Dressen was the manager of the Dodgers and playing the Braves every day. You know who the second baseman was for the Braves? Yeah, Henry Aaron. And Dressen kept watching these exhibition games and he kept saying they better get that kid out of second base before he gets killed because he's too good a hitter to be there. To ask who the favorite player is down in that seat. And they are here. Caps full of dreams taken in the game. Look at those big brown eyes. And there's a heartbreaker. Just give her time. Faces in the crowd. Hope he'd be out here. Enjoy the game and each other. 4-3 Dodgers. And we go to the fifth inning. Garrett, Adrian Gonzalez, and Headley. So this will be a test for Weaver. Who got them in the third inning, giving up just an infield single. Gonzalez singled, fly to center. Garrett has fouled out to right and then was robbed on that bases loaded catch by Matt Kemp. Ball one. Garrett hitting .238, and you would think it's the old story. Hitting in front of Gonzalez, he would get a lot of pitches to hit. And he promptly hits one to right and deep. Ethier goes back. He got a pitch to hit all right. Bangs it off the wall, going for two, and he is in there. So Garrett doubles to right. The tying run is at second base. Nobody out, and here they come. Gonzalez, Headley, and Kuzminov.
First baseman, Adrian Gonzalez.
Right out over the plate, and Garrett was not about to take that pitch. Bangs it at the bottom part of the right field wall, and Ethier gets it back in, but Garrett in there easily. 5 hits for the Padres, 3 hits against Weaver, and here's the tough guy. He's hitting 12 straight, singled and flied to center. 12-game hitting streak plus 9 home runs. And ball one. The Dodgers, as they always do, load up the right side. They really have a diamond defense with Hudson playing so deep. 1 ball and no strikes. And ball 2. Adrian, along with his brother Edgar, natural favorites in San Diego, born there. He lives in Phoenix. Last year he received 18 intentional walks. Albert Pujols received 34. And that's a strike. 2-1. Last year, as usual, Gonzalez carrying the load. He had 13 more home runs than any other Padres. He had 35 more RBIs than any Padres. And he signed for the next 3 years, so he'll be around in San Diego. 2-1. And ball 3. With all of that, he's only 26, although he'll be 27th in the 8th of May. Adrian Gonzalez spent part of his childhood in Tijuana. Went to high school in Chula Vista. 3-1. 3-2. See what Furcal is doing out there at second base. Rafael is kind of holding the runner on, trying to take a step away from him. On the previous pitch, he was very close to the bag and then backing up when Weaver worked to the plate. Anything to take a step from Garrett, the tying run. Time now. They're not quite sure. Furcal's not going to the bag, though Martin decides to go out and talk to Weaver. And Gonzalez waits. Gonzalez doesn't get nearly the attention that he deserves. With his 9 home runs, he's tied for the major league lead. He owns the franchise home run record for April. Previous mark was 7. He has 9 right now. His slugging percentage this month, only .711. 3-2. And foul back out of play. For Adrian, among other things, he has reached safely in all 22 games the Padres have played. He has a hit in all but 2 games this year. He's hit in 20 of the last 21. I mean, he's the whole package. Garrett at second, nobody out. Check swing, strike 3. So Weaver cuts up and in on him with a slider, and Gonzalez goes down. So you can celebrate with members of the '59 championship team next Thursday. The Dodgers honor the 50th anniversary of their first World Series title in Los Angeles, and the first 30 fans in attendance receive a 1959 retro radio, compliments of 790 KABC. Buy tickets now at Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS today. That was an amazing team as Headley now tries to pick up Garrett. Weaver with 4 strikeouts. The 1959 team did something that no team had ever done. They were 7th in 1958, and no 7th place team ever came right back to be world champions except that club. 1-1. Those games were all played in the Coliseum or in Chicago. The Eastern writers would make fun of it. They said the Coliseum will make a joke out of the World Series. Anything but. They were all tough games, and one of the games was 1-0 in the dirt. Ball 2. Anyway, the '59 club will be saluted. Hope you'll be out here with us. Jeff Weaver, the long man, had to come in the 2nd inning to get an out. It was a tough out when Garrett unloaded and Kemp made the great catch with the bases loaded. 2-1. And pop foul off to the left. Martin digging over. It will not be playable. It will certainly kangaroo back, however. Whoops. 2-2. Jeff just called up from Albuquerque Corey Wade is now in the bullpen. He's off the DL. Blake DeWitt, whom they felt would be rusting, sitting in the dugout. So DeWitt has gone to play every day in Albuquerque. And Scott Elbert, the young left-hander, has been sent to Double-A Chattanooga. 2-2 the count. So Garrett opens up with a double. The big out was to strike out Gonzalez. And that's a fly ball to left. Manny cruising over. Tagging up is Garrett. Manny for the catch and Garrett holding. So 2 out. And the batter will be Kevin Kuzminov. Kuzminov, 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. Kuzminov coming in had hit safely in 9 of the last 12. And ball 1. Dodgers 4, Padres 3. Tying run at second base was there with nobody out. It's still there with 2 out. 1-0. Fastball and a good one. 1-1. That's as hard as he's thrown. He hit 92. One ball and 1 strike. Nice save by Martin. That fastball away. 2-1 to count to Kuzminov. Jody Garrett at second base with a leadoff double, and Weaver trying to keep him there. Weaver is due to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Breaking ball fouled away. Little slider up. Still 2-2, and Martin out to talk to Jeff. For Weaver right now, he's made 52 pitches. Kuzminov, very good athlete. He played football, baseball, played golf for the golf team. Hard to believe he was about 115 pounds and cut down to 103 pounds for wrestling. Fastball, a broken bat, and here comes Kemp, a diving, rolling catch, and the ball stayed in his glove. Big play by Matt, his second big play tonight. He has saved personally 4 runs. If he doesn't make this catch, the tying run comes in. And at the end of 4.5, Dodgers 4, Padres 3. Matt Kemp, making a diving catch on the broken bat fly ball, and an even better catch with the bases loaded on a ball hit to deepest left center field. So Kemp has kept the Dodgers out in front, and Jeb Weaver, Rafael Furcal, and Orlando Hudson, and the count on Weaver, 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 1 of the 4-game series with San Diego. Half swing, that'll cost him 1-2. Clayton Kershaw and Jake Peavy tomorrow night. And fireworks after the game. 2-2. Josh Gear has been very impressive in his starts. Fastball takes care of Jeff, who hit one deep to left in the 3rd inning. 4 strikeouts for Gear. And the batter now will be the leadoff man, Rafael Furcal. Rafael single to left in the 1st inning, and then Hudson hit into a double play. Furcal double to left in the 3rd, and Hudson hit a home run. And then Manny hit a home run, and the Dodgers lead 4-3. Off the plate, ball 1. Got the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. Gear worked very hard in the 1st inning. 28 pitches, gave up 1 run. Since then, he's done very well. Little ground ball to Eckstein. Go 2 out. And that'll bring up Orlando Hudson. In the 3rd inning, Orlando hit a breaking ball into the left field bleachers after hitting the top of the wall. Manny then hit a monstrous smash, and that gave the Dodgers the 4-3 lead. The excited Matt Kemp, not to mention the crowd. So here comes Orlando. Hit back to the box for the double play and then hit the home run. He has 12 RBIs, and having a marvelous April, hitting .333. On deck, Manny Ramirez. Two and 0 the count. High-spirited Thursday night crowd welcoming the Dodgers back. 3-0. With 2 out, Manny waiting. Everybody in the ballpark wanting to see Manny hit, except the Padres. That's a strike. 3-1. And a hopper backhanded by the pest. His throw is in time. Big play by David Eckstein to come up with the 3rd out so that Gear did not have to see Ramirez. And at the end of 5, 4-3 Dodgers. has had a good April. Well, you want to know a great April? Go back to 1977. Ron Cey, the Penguin of the Dodgers, all he did was have 9 home runs. He hit .425. He had 29 runs batted in, and would you believe it? He hit safely in 15 of the 16 games. Now that's a great April. Let's go back to this one. 4-3 in favor of the Dodgers, but only because of the glove of Matt Kemp. He has made 2 plays that saved the Dodgers from giving up 4 runs, and they'd be sincerely and deeply in a hole. So Matt has kept them afloat. Here's Nick Hundley, and a strike. Hundley gone deep in the count in his 2 at-bats, walked and struck out. Bases loaded walk. Picked up a run batted in. 0-1. Fouled away. 0-2 the count. Down in the Dodger bullpen, it's time to give the long man a rest. So Ronald Belisario will get up. Tough for the bullpen to have James McDonald be so wild. An inning and 2/3 with 4 walks and 2 hits. 0-2. And ground ball, base hit. So Hundley comes up with a base hit. You want to be an umpire? Would you like to be the umpire at first base and make this call? This is the play involving David Eckstein. Look at this. What do you say? Safe or out? Quick, now. Boy. Tremendous respect for the umpires. They do a remarkable job. Under pressure, they don't have a chance to look at the videotape. That was Rob Drake, the first base umpire, who made the call without any doubt. Little pop fly. It will be Casey in foul ground. 1 away. So Hundley a base hit. Rodriguez fouls out, and it'll bring up Gear, who is 2 for 2. Gear checking with Glenn Hoffman. And bunting foul. 0-1. Gear has 1 sacrifice. Glenn Hoffman perhaps hanging out the sign. See where his brother Trevor picked up his first save for Milwaukee the other game. 0-1. The bunt is down. Loney is going to go to first base. He looked at second, but there was no play. So Gear 2 for 2 plus a sacrifice. He has certainly had a good evening. And now they leave it up to Brian Giles. Giles fouled out, walked, and lined out to right. And Joe Torre now is coming to the pen. He's going to have Ronald Belisario, I believe, unless he was joined by a left-hander right away. And it is the left-hander. It's Will Ullman coming in. So Ullman will be coming in to pitch to Brian Giles with the tying run at second base again. So Weaver just called up from Albuquerque, and he did a good job and gets a round of applause. And we'll be back. only because of Matt Kemp. He made a dazzling catch with 2 outs and the bases loaded on what looked like a bases clearing triples by Jody Garrett. And then with Garrett at second and 2 out, a diving catch on a broken bat fly ball by Kevin Kuzminoff. So the Dodgers still leading 4-3. And Will Ullman now facing Brian Giles. Ullman the other night in San Francisco, for the first time in his career, came in, got a save, retired the side in order in the 9th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. And ball 2. Giles has faced Ullman 6 times in the past, 1 for 6 as Randy Wolf visits with Jeff Weaver, a couple of Valley boys. 2-0 the count. Giles has had a really rough time against left-hand pitching so far this year, but it is only April. And ball 3. Giles against left-hand pitching this year, hitting .125. On deck, the pest, David Eckstein. Little man who plays a big part in most of his games. 3-0 to Giles. Hey, let him swing 3-0. He does not have a home run. They were just hoping he'd get a good pitch that he could handle. Hitting just .165. At second, Nick Hundley, the catcher. 2nd inning in a row, Padres have at the tying run in scoring position. 3-1. That's a strike. 3-2. Ullman, born in Frankfurt, West Germany, lives in the Valley. 3-2 to Brian. Half swing, and he punched him. So Giles just able to hold on and goes to first. It was that close to put runners at first and second, and now the batter is David Eckstein with 2 outs. Eckstein flied to right, walked, struck out, made that fine play to take a hit away from Orlando Hudson. 2 on, 2 out, 4-3 Dodgers. Were in the 6th. Dodgers and Padres played it very tough in the 4 games in San Diego. And popped in the air, foul. It's Loney. Now back into fair ground. So they get Eckstein with 1 pitch. Ullman takes care of the situation. The Padres lead 2, and the Dodgers still lead 4-3. concentration and great power. As soon as he hit it, everybody knew it was a home run, and that's the difference in the game. So Manny's bat and Kemp's glove give the Dodgers a 4-3 lead. Ramirez, Ethier, and Loney, and Manny did not have a chance to come up with a man on because of that play by Eckstein on the ball hit by Hudson. So Manny hitting a cool 377. Strike. 0-1. And 2 strikes. Yeah, they are here. He turned it around and took a picture of himself. That'd be close. Chopper back at third on the line. Kuzminov, a long throw to Adrian Gonzalez, and they get Manny for the first time. 1 down here in the 6th. Manny with a double and a home run, and has scored twice, knocked in 1. Andre Ethier started the Dodgers in the right direction, reaching into the stands on a foul ball to make an out on Jody Garrett. Then in the bottom of the 1st inning, with Ramirez at second and 2 out, Andre singled to drive him in. Ethier, who looked like Jeremiah Johnson, if you ever saw that movie, on the road trip, has now cleaned his act up and comes up with his 2nd hit. With a clean-shaven Andre, who is hitting .308, comes up with his 2nd hit. And the batter, James Loney. Looks about 10 years younger, too. James Loney popped to third, flied to right, 0 for 2. And James taking a look at Larry Bowa. Ethier at first. 4-3 Dodgers, bottom of the 6th. And that's a strike. Andre is 1 for 1 in stolen bases, but with Loney, you'd be looking for a hit and run play. No balls, 1 strike. One and 1. When the Padres come up in the 7th inning, as Bowa might hang out a sign, it'll be Garrett, Adrian Gonzalez, and Headley. Of course, the ideal count 2-1. Count right now 1-1. Ethier a very short lead. Gear going over there anyway. One ball and 1 strike to James Loney, hitting .308. One and 2. Edward Mojica, whom we saw in San Diego, begins to loosen up now in the Padre pen. Gear's pitch count, adding them all up in a moment. 87 pitches so far. And a drive to right field, but very playable. Giles is there. Ethier nowhere to go but back to first. So you can purchase any field level ticket, May 4, 7, or 9, pay just $45 to enjoy some of the best seats at Dodger Stadium. You can save up to 65%. Watch the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, the Nationals, or the Giants. Just visit Dodgers.com/eSavers and enter promo code Russell55. And who's at the plate? There you go. 2 out. Ethier at first. 4-3 Dodgers. Josh Gear very impressive tonight and has been very impressive every start he has made in his young career. That's a strike. Gear tonight has not walked a hitter, and of course that makes him very impressive. On the other side of the coin, James McDonald walked the house in the second inning. Oh, and 2 the count to Martin, batting .211. I don't have the list now, but when we were on the road, we called it off twice. All of the catchers and what they were hitting, and at the time Martin was hitting about .226, and he was having a great year at .226. All of the others were hitting 100. Amazing. One and 2. Soto, Kendall, McMahon, every catcher you can think of, none of them were hitting a lick. There goes Ethier. Line drive right behind Eckstein, who slaps it down and throws him out. He is really remarkable. Eckstein going to cover, still able to dive back, flag it, knock it down. He gets 5s in the dugout at the end of 6. 4-3 Dodgers. Another squad congratulating Eckstein on that comeback play, breaking for the bag and then coming back and knocking down the base hit and turning it into an out. Big play. It's worth looking at again. There he goes towards the bag, and the ball's hit behind him, and he's still able to knock it down, and the pest makes the play. And that's what he's been against the Dodgers and throughout his career against any team he's faced. David Eckstein, he's something. Meanwhile, with Will Ullman pitching, Scott Hairston will come up and bat for Garrett, and then he can finish the game in center field. So Hairston checking in, hitting .390, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Padres have left 8 in 6 innings, and they have left the tying run at second base in the last 2 innings. If it's not for Kemp, Bud Black and his club has at least 7 runs. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball 2. 2-0 the count to Hairston, then Gonzalez and Headley. Foul back out of play. 2-1 the count. Hairston has certainly been around a while. Scotty first came up with the Diamondbacks 5 years ago, and for the last 2 years with the Padres. Son of a former big leaguer, Jerry Hairston. His brother is second baseman for the Orioles. So baseball certainly in that family. Born in Fort Worth, Texas, but lives in Tucson. Hairston will be 29. And ball 3. So Will Oman called in. Walked Giles but got Eckstein. Now 3-1 to Hairston. And he walked him. So again, the tying run is aboard, and Adrian Gonzalez will be coming up. You know, the Dodgers are presenting Friday night fireworks all season long, and the next one takes off tomorrow. Fireworks set to the soundtrack of Las Vegas as part of Viva Las Vegas night right here. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com and enjoy the show after the show. Adrian singled to center, flied to center, and struck out. Fastball and a good one in on the hands. 0-1. Adrian has hit safely in 12 straight. You have to be very careful. He has 9 home runs. Came in hitting .329. One and one. In looking at Will Ullman's work, Adrian Gonzalez is 3 for 8 with a home run against him. That's a .375 batting average. So Ullman has to be very careful. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's going to be hit into the gap. And it's going to go to the wall. And Hairston runs well. He is going to score on a double by Gonzalez. And the game is tied at 4. So the leadoff walk. And wouldn't you know, Adrian Gonzalez cashes it in. So Adrian standing at second base. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Ronald Belisario gets up. Right in the gap. Kemp over to pick it up. Had a little bit of trouble. It didn't come back to him, but Adrian was content with the double. And he steams in. It's only his 3rd double. And here comes Ronald Belisario. And out goes Will Ullman. So we'll be back. hitter. So we have a 4-4 tie. Ronald Belisario now will be facing Chase Headley, switch hitter, who'll turn around to hit left-handed, and then Kevin Kuzminov. Belisario 3-1 strikeouts to walks. 0-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for each side. Headley walked, scored a run in the second inning, had an infield single in the third, fly to left in the fifth. Well, we saw Mojica warming up earlier in the San Diego pen, but now, of course, the ball game is tied up 4-4. Belisario just hit 97 on the gun with his fastball. 1-1. And hit to the hole by the diving Hudson. At third base, they will hold Gonzalez. So Headley, a line drive single to right. Padres now first and third, nobody out, 1 run in. And the batter is Kevin Kuzminov. Another tough moment for Joe Torre. You knew it was going to be a tough night when James McDonald couldn't get out of the second inning. And Will Oman, after a good job by Jeff Weaver, Oman walking Hairston, and then Gonzalez doubling in the tying run. So now Belisario is in a jam, and Kevin Kuzminov up there, nobody out. 4-4 in the seventh. 0-1. Dodgers with McDonald, Weaver, Ullman, Belisario. San Diego with Gier. And tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw and Jake Peavy. Beats that foul, kills a few worms. 0-2 the count. Belisario, a big guy who throws very hard. But of course, in the big leagues, velocity isn't the secret. Late movement is really a blessing. 0-2. Well, that looks like fastball. Let's see. And little ground ball. Tiebreaker scores on the play at first not in time because of an all-out play by Chase Headley, who got a pat on the back from Orlando Hudson. Headley went hard into the bag, and Hudson, trying to get the throw to first, had to bounce it. A legitimate play, and the first thing typical that Hudson did when he got up, he patted Headley. As if to say, yeah, that's the way to play the game. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Clean as a whistle. So it's 5-4. Big play for Headley. Padres out in front. The batter now is Nick Hundley. And a strike. Oh, 0-1 to the catcher, who has walked, struck out, single to left. That's a strike. When he singled in the sixth inning, the count was no balls and 2 strikes. And early, back in the second inning, he had a 10-pitch at bat, went 3-2, and eventually got a walk. So Josh Gier, talking about 3-2 count. Interesting what's happened to him tonight. That's ball 1. 3 hitters have singled on 3-2 pitches in the first inning. Hudson homered on a 1-0 pitch. And Ramirez homered early in the count after Gier fell behind. But he is now leading 5-4. Check swing. That'll do it. Bum check. So Belisario strikes out Hundley, and that will bring up Luis Rodriguez.
Luis Rodriguez.
Edgar Gonzalez, the older brother of Adrian Gonzalez, is out on deck. 2 out, Kuzminoff at first. 5-4 Padres, 7th inning. Ball 1. Luis Gonzalez grounded into a double play, hit back to the box, and popped up to Blake. 0 for 3. Hitting .250. Dodgers will have Kemp, Blake, and the pitcher spot. Good pitch. 1-1. The veteran Rodriguez trying to keep the inning alive. Edgar Gonzalez would bat for Josh Gear, who would go out winning. 1-1. Ground ball into the hole. There's nobody at first, but Loney gets back in time, having left the bag to start for the ball. Nice play by Orlando. So we have 6.5 in the books. Padres 5, Dodgers 4, and time for all of us to put a little thought into song. We're waiting for the announcement for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor America with the singing of God Bless America. Tonight we once again welcome Paige Williams of Palm Springs. Paige will be joined by Nancy B. at the Dodger Stadium, Roland, Oregon.
To the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home.
93 pitches, leaving and leading 5-4. He gives the ball now to Luke Gregerson, and Gregerson will try to hold on for him. So in every start, he's been very impressive. Gregerson is out of Park Ridge, Illinois. He's certainly big enough, 6'3", 200. Went to St. Xavier, Illinois University, and was originally picked by the Cardinals. Breaking ball is promptly slapped into right field for Matt Kemp. So one pitch, and the Dodgers now have the tying run aboard. The Kemp just went with it and singled to right. So for Bud Black, he led 3-1, let that get away. Now he leads 5-4, and Kemp, who is a threat, of course, on the base paths, he has stolen 5 out of 6. So Casey Blake and then Mark Loretta will hit for Belisario. And down in the Dodger bullpen, just off the DL, is Corey Wade. Foul ball. Casey Blake has struck out, grounded to third. Gregerson, Basley, fastball slider. Drafted in the 28th round by the Cardinals, but he's made great progress. He was drafted in 06, and here he is. Fastball is basically a sinker. So Matt Kemp getting a chuckle out of something that Adrian Gonzalez said. 0-1 to count. The count to Casey Blake. And that's punched into right field. Base hit. Kemp goes to second and goes to third. It's cut off, but Matt flying around. You don't run on Bron Giles very often, but Matt Kemp is Matt Kemp. Giles never had a chance, and now Mark Loretta will be coming up. First and third, nobody out. The throw on a bounce, and it was slow to get to Rodriguez. Now Mark Loretta causes a big meeting on the mound, and well, he should. He has done very well coming off the bench. The veteran Loretta hitting .444, and as a pinch hitter, he is 6 for 9 with a run batted in. Those 6 pinch hits and 9 at-bats for Mark Loretta means he leads the major leagues in that difficult assignment. So Gregerson hoping for sinkers, and that's ball 1. The infield in double play depth, so they will give up the tying run. Edward Mujica is up again in the San Diego pen. One ball and no strike. Down in the pen, Arturo Lopez joins Mujica. And ball 2. So with the Padres leading 5-4, Gregerson gives up 2 singles to right field to right-hand batters. That's a good sign of fine hitting, taking the sinker ball the other way. And the speed of Kemp sent the tying run all the way to third. 2-0 to Mark Loretta. Foul back. When Loretta was with the Dodgers in spring training, he said to Joe Torre one day, look, don't just use me against left-hand pitching. I'd like to go against all of them. And Joe thought, boy, this guy's really a pro. And he has given him a super pro performance. And a fly ball, pop fly, could be trouble. It lands. Kemp will score. Down to second goes Blake. And for Mark Loretta, he's now 7 for 10 as a pinch hitter. But that little sheepish grin as if to say, yeah, it wasn't hit very hard, but I'll take it. And the speed of Kemp gets the Dodgers even. A little pop fly. Eckstein tried but couldn't get there. So 2 singles to right and a pop fly to right center. So Gregerson has not been the answer. And the batter now will be Rafael Furcal. And yet another meeting, standing room only on the mound. Rafael single to left field in the first inning. Double to left field in the third and rode home on Orlando Hudson's home run. And last time up, he grounded out to the right side to Eckstein. So 2 on, nobody out. And of course, for the Padres, they're saying to themselves, what about Furcal? Do you think he will sacrifice? He does not have a sacrifice, but you have Hudson and Ramirez back of him. So Blake and Loretta out on the lines, nobody out. Kuzmanov has to play caddy corner at third. Adrian Gonzalez up on the grass at first, so they look bunt. We'll see. Shows bunt and fouls it back. 0-1. For Torrey and Schaefer, they have seen the Dodgers lead 1-0. The Padres lead 3-1. The Dodgers lead 4-3. The Padres lead 5-4. And now they're 5-5. 0-1 to Rafael. On deck, Orlando Hudson, and then Manning. Now Gonzalez is walking in towards the plate. Now he backs up a little bit. 0-1. The bunt is on. The bunt is fouled at the plate. 0-2. Rafael again checking to see if the bunt's on with Boa. Orlando waiting on deck. Blake at second, Loretta at first. Nobody out. 5-5 in the seventh. Full swing and a foul. And I think Furcal hurt himself. Runners move up. They're going to be sent back. And Rafael walking back to the dugout.
Now batting second baseman, number 13, Orlando Hudson.
So Furcal slamming his helmet, frustrated in the dugout. And you can see where he hurt his leg. So now Orlando Hudson. Of course, Furcal doesn't walk too wounded in the dugout, but angry at himself, I'm sure. Orlando in a big spot now. If he just advances the runners, you figure they would walk Ramirez intentionally. Ball one. Orlando with Manny hitting back of him. And time. Hudson hit into a double play in the first inning by way of the mound. Hit a 2-run home run in the third. Was robbed of a hit on a wonderful play by David Eckstein. So Blake and Loretta out on the lines. 1 out. A bluff. The Gear followed by Gregerson, but Gregerson has let the lead get away. So 93 pitches later, Josh Gear is not involved. 1-0. And a line drive base hit. Now let's see about Blake. They're going to stop him. And the bases will be loaded for Manning Ramirez. And the throw gets away at the plate, would you believe? Every Dodger had stopped, and the Padres make a very poor play to give the Dodgers the lead. There was no play. They had stopped Blake at third. So Orlando Hudson, a single to right to test the patience of Bud Black. It's head-shaking time down there. Here's Giles coming up with it. The throw going to the plate. There was no play, and it just went right through the legs of Nick Hundley, allowing Blake to score and give the Dodgers the 6-5 lead. Whoops, the door is open, and here comes Casey. So now first base is open, and the crowd feels cheated. 1 minute he was going to come up with the bases loaded. Now they've got a place to put him. The error charge to Hundley. Well, that took a lot of the drama. This place would have gone bananas if Manny was coming up with the bases loaded, but the Dodgers will take it any way they can get it. Watch the throw to Hundley. He's down to handle it, and it just went right by him. So 2 runs over against Gregerson and the Padres. It is 6-5 Dodgers in the 7th inning. Eckstein and Hundley out there to talk. Juan Pierre is now taking over at third base. So the Dodgers have the bases loaded, and we'll be back. Mark Loretta and Matt Kemp. Meanwhile, the Dodgers with a deuce of their own lead 6-5, and the Padres make a double switch. Chris Burke will take over at shortstop, and Edward Mujica is on the mound. Mujica inherits a bases loaded 1-out spot, and Andre Ethier coming up. Mujica's from Venezuela and was originally signed by the Indians back in 2001. When Mujica was in the minor leagues 2 years ago, when they called him up, he had worked just about 39 innings and had not given up a run. Well, he'll be tested now. He's fastball, slider, and a splitter. And Andre Ethier up there with the bases loaded. Pierre at third, Hudson at second, Ramirez at first, 1 out. And ball 1. Mujica is in his 10th game. Earned run average over 4.5. 9 innings, 9 hits, and 7 runs. One and one to count. Ethier so far tonight. Single to left to drive in a run. Fly to center and single to right. He's got a full plate out there. Pierre, Hudson, and Ramirez. The infield is up. Ball 2. 2-1. For Bud Black to give up a run on a throw to the plate when all of the runners had stopped at their respective bases, that had to really hurt. 2-1. Two and two. Been quite a game to begin an 11-game homestand. Dodgers led 1-0. Padres led 3-1. Dodgers led 4-3. San Diego led 5-4. Dodgers lead 6-5. Matt Kemp has saved 4 runs with 2 catches. David Eckstein has been the pest as he usually is, but he is 0 for 3 with the bat. Ground ball to Gonzalez, to the plate for 1. Back to Gonzalez for the double play, and that's that. So the Dodgers were lucky to get the go-ahead run, but they will take it. And at the end of 7, it's 6-5 Dodgers. Hudson, and then a high deep drive by Manny to right center, to left center, excuse me, cheerleading by Matt Kemp. And at the time the Dodgers then led 4-3, but a lot's gone on, and now the Dodgers, thanks to the big break, the throw that just got away from Nick Hundley, and the Dodgers lead 6-5. Corey Wade coming out of the Dodger bullpen and coming off the DL, just activated today. Hasn't worked hardly at all. He's had certainly a cranky shoulder, and at one stage he was used 3 games in 4 days, and that seemed to really set him back. But now they say he is solid, and here he is. Chris Burke. This sounds amazing, but was printed in the papers talking about Chris Burke. The Padres, when they charged Seattle March 25th, they sold Chris Burke to the Seattle Mariners for $1. He's hitting .273 and drives one to right center. Another play for Kemp. Then, interestingly enough, After the Padres charged Seattle $1 when they sold him, then the Padres paid the Mariners $1.25 and repurchased Berg to replace the injured Everett Cabrera. So Chris, an out to right center, one away, and the batter Brian Giles. And he drives one to right. Ethier going back to the track in front of the bullpen gate. So Andre all over the place out there along with Kemp. 2 down in the 8th inning. And David Eckstein coming up. So Ethier runs down 1. Kemp runs down 1.
David Eckstein.
And here's Eckstein. Fly to right and walk, struck out and popped up. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jonathan Broxton heating up for the 9th. Eckstein has a little 3-game hitting streak coming out of the Colorado series where he was 4 for 9. 1 ball, no strikes. That's a strike. Tonight's crowd a sellout. It was the fleece blanket night, and the paid attendance 54,628. 54,628. And a pop fly to shallow center. Hudson going out. Kemp says, I'll take it. And then as Hudson goes down, Kemp goes over him. And did he get a lot of Hudson? No, they're laughing. Okay. Nothing like keeping a sense of humor. So the Padres go 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 7½, we'll take another look. Hudson runs away from Kemp, clips him, takes him out. But the Dodgers lead 6-5. Five pitches, gets 3 outs, and almost gets Orlando Hudson killed. Hudson hurt his left arm or wrist a little bit as he rolled under Matt Kemp. So it is 6-5 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th inning, and Mojica pitching to James Loney. Loney is 0 for 3, popped to third, twice flied to right. Hitting .304. Dodgers trying to do tonight what they last did in 2005. Finish up 15-8. They've needed some help tonight, especially the bounce throw to the plate that either just confused Hundley or took an absolute, not a bad hop, but it went right over his arm. 1-1. And there's a flare into center for a base hit. So Loney is 1 for 4. And the batter will be Russell Martin. It is no fun being on the outside looking in, and that's where Russell Martin is. Everybody in hitter. Mark Loretta has a hit, but Martin struggling, 0 for 3, hitting .208. And a strike. By the way, don't go wandering off. In the 9th inning, San Diego will have Scott Hairston, Adrian Gonzalez, and Chase Headley. In any inning with Gonzalez in a 1-run game, it's worth watching. 0-1. Pitch out, no action with Loney. James Loney is 1 for 2 in stolen bases. What they've done, in a way, Martin's hand, where he could now put a play on 1 ball and 1 strike. And popped up into shallow right. There goes Eckstein. So Martin pops it up, perhaps trying to take a shot to right field. The Russell goes 0 for 4. And the batter will be Matt Kemp, who seems like he's been everywhere out there in the outfield. Matt grounded out, struck out, and then led off the 7th inning against Gregerson with a line drive single to right. Came around to score the tying run. And then Blake scored when the throw went to the plate. Blake had stopped at third, and it got by Hundley. When the Dodgers played a 4-game series in San Diego, the scores were 4-1 Dodgers, 4-2 Padres, 5-2 Dodgers, 4-3 Padres. And now their first of 4 in this series. It's 6-5 Dodgers. So it's been Gear, Gregerson, and Mujica. Comes Loney. They will wave him in. The relay by Eckstein, not in time, and it's dropped by Hundley, so he can't make a play on Kemp. And the Dodgers lead 7-5. So Matt Kemp doubles Loney home and then takes third on the throw. 7 runs, 13 hits for the Dodgers. There's Eckstein making the throw, and then Hundley trying to get Kemp at third, just dropped it. Infield has to play up now that Kemp is at third, and Casey Blake struck out, grounded out, single to right, scored a run. Oh, and 1. Casey hitting .233. 1 ball and 1 strike. if you score, and Kemp doubled into the corner and took third on the throw. And foul back out of play, 1-2. Brad Ausmus comes out on deck. He would bat for the Dodgers, and they have Broxton getting ready in the pen. One and two to Casey Blake. Off the plate, 2-2. Josh Gear went out leading 5-4. Dodgers got well against Gregerson and now add a run against Mujica. 2-2. And ball 3. Manny tonight, a double and a home run, has scored 2, driven in 1. And that's going to go foul down the right field line, back into the big crowd. Tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw and Jake Peavy, fireworks after the game, and we certainly hope you'll spend Friday night with us. Clayton all pumped up, talking to Hiroki Kuroda. Boy, they really miss Kuroda. The veteran, the knowledgeable, the control expert, but out with the bad side. 3-2. Fouled away. It's of distant memory, I'm sure, but if you go back to April the 6th, it was Kuroda who beat Peavy 4-1. They cut down that first name Hiroki on the ball club. He's hero, and he can be a hero. 3-2. Another fly ball down the line, carrying well, and goes foul. Ryan Giles in pursuit. To repeat, when the Padres come up in the 9th inning, they'll have Hairston, Gonzalez, and Headley. And if anybody gets on, Kuzmanov. But because of what's transpired here, it'll be at least a 2-run lead for the Dodgers, and maybe more if they can get Kemp home. And they're going to get him home as Casey singles up the middle. And the Dodgers now with another deuce lead 8-5. So Matt Kemp, like a wild horse out there tonight, running every which way, getting 5s in the dugout. Eric Stoltz will now come up and bat, and they will hold back Brad Ausmus. So Stoltz hitting for Belisario. They've already used Pierre. You may remember Juan went in as a pinch runner for Loretta. So Stoltz, the pinch hitter, with 1 out and a runner at first. Stoltz is 0 for 5, and he has struck out 3 times. They want him to bunt. Foul back. 0-1. Larry Boa talking to Eric. So Casey Blake with 2 hits, set up 1 run and drives in another here in the late going. 8-5 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th. 1 out. Full swing and a miss behind the plate. 0-2. So they took the bunt off. Now let's see if they put it back on again. And ball one. Stultz up in San Francisco had one at bat and struck out when he was the starting pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pulls that bat back. 2-2 the count. Dodgers trying to go 7-0 at home this year. Last time a Dodger club did that, 1947, Ebbets Field. 2-2. And did he foul it? Yep. So he is struck out. So Stultz goes down, and the batter will be Rafael Furcal. So be sure to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday. The first 15,000 children 14 and under receive an Andre Ethier kids batting practice jersey, compliments of Cacique. Come early, see Elmo throw out the first pitch, and the kids will also run the bases after the game. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com. All right, here's Rafael. Singled and doubled, grounded out and struck out. Fouled away. Remember the last time up, he swung at a pitch and missed it. The pitch hit him, and he hurt his leg, but he's okay. 8 runs, 14 hits for the Dodgers. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Padres. 1 error. And a pop fly. Burke going out and calling, and Chris makes the catch. So Furcal pops it up, but the Dodgers get 2, and at the end of 8, lead the Padres 8-5. Big John 2-0, ERA less than 1. No, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts, and he had some trouble in San Francisco in the cold. So Broxton coming in. The Dodgers tonight have really put on some clutch hitting. They are 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position. San Diego is 2 for 9, but you have to remember that includes both of Matt Kemp's catches, one on the dead run in left center, and the other one the sprawling catch in shallow center. So Hairston, Gonzalez, and Headley in that order. Hairston finishing up for Garrett, walked in the 7th inning and scored a run. At the time, it tied up the game. Ball 1. In looking at the Padres facing Broxton, Hairston 0 for 3. Adrian Gonzalez 1 for 7. And ball 2. Chase Headley 0 for 3 has struck out all 3 times against Broxton. And Kuzminov is 1 for 11 with 5 strikeouts. So it would appear, at least on paper, that Broxton should have a relatively smooth inning. We'll see. On paper is one thing. 2-0. And ball 3. Jonathan Broxton has been used a couple of times where he has had to get 5 outs instead of 3. They always say it was Tony La Russa who started that so-called 1 inning for a closer, and he did that with Dennis Eckersley in Oakland. But it was only after Eckersley was 38 years old that he was just a 1-inning pitcher. And there's the leadoff walk to Hairston. And that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez.
First baseman number 23, Adrian Gonzalez.
In 1988, there were 532 multi-inning saves in the big leagues. The figure has declined. 342 in 93, 286 in 98, 213 in 2003, and only 127 a year ago. So it is rare now for a reliever to come in to be asked to get more than 3 outs. That's a strike to Gonzalez. You may remember Francisco Rodriguez set a major league record, 62 saves last year, but he never marked more than 1 inning. In fact, he never even appeared in a game the Angels were trailing in the 161st game of the year when he was getting sharp for the postseason. 0-2 the count to Adrian Gonzalez. So for Jonathan, 2 of his first 6 saves this year have been multi-inning efforts, but not tonight. They're asking him to get 3 and take it home. 0-2 to Adrian Gonzalez. 8-5 Dodgers. 9th inning. Check swing. They're going to look at third. No swing. With Joe Torre, of course, in the final 11 years of Joe's 12-year managerial stint with the Yankees, Mariano Rivera was the closer, and 95 of the saves Rivera amassed involved more than an inning of work. In fact, in 76 postseason appearances, Joe worked him 117 innings. Of course, Joe said in his first year, Mariano worked the 7th, the 8th. 1-2. Got him. The one thing, looking fastball, and he was set up for the breaking ball, frozen, and down he goes. Big pitch, 1 away. It's up there, and then the spinner just drops into the zone. That was the last pitch Gonzo was looking for. So now Chase Headley. Headley has walked, infield single, fly to left, single to right. 2 for 3. And there goes the runner. They're not paying any attention to him. So defensive indifference. Hairston goes to second. It does put a little pressure on the infield. It takes away the force. Headley has faced Broxton 3 times in his young career and has struck out all 3 times. And drops it in there. 1-1. So John, command of his breaking ball. And of course the Padre hitters looking fastball. 1-1. fastball. 1-2. Chase Headley in left field has scored 1 run tonight. Adrian Gonzalez had a single and a double. He's hitting 12 straight. 1-2. Fastball got him. So Gonzalez was looking fastball and got the breaking ball. Headley, perhaps figuring I won't get a fastball, is caught looking. And now with 2 out, the batter is Kevin Kuzminov. Now Kuzminov is just 1 for 11 against Broxton, having struck out 5 times against him. And the big crowd, they're up and at him. 2 out in the 9th. Oh, and 1. Kuzminov walked and scored a run, struck out. Had Kemp made a diving catch of his broken bat fly ball, that would have scored Garrett in the 5th inning. And then last time up, hit into a force play, did drive in a run. Fastball. 1-1. So Broxton with 2 strikeouts has 18 strikeouts and 3 walks. 6-to-1 ratio is really something. The gun said that last pitch was 100, and the gun has said twice that he's hit 99. Scouts don't believe it. They say take a couple of miles off the gun. 1-1. In there. Boy, his control tonight. Little slider for a strike. 1-2 the count. Dodgers close to being undefeated at home. 7-0 for the first time since 1947. Fastball missed. The play that had to break the heart of the Padres was the throw by Giles that, for one reason or another, only he could tell you, the ball went by Nick Hundley. 2-2. Deuce is wild with a runner at second. And Broxton trying to put a ribbon on the packet. That'll be that. So all he does is come in, walk the leadoff hitter, and then strike out the side. The Big John now has 19 strikeouts and 3 walks. He made 17 pitches, and of course that's extremely important. And the Dodgers go up by 1 against the Padres, having won